How are wands made? I think that's a question that's long been asked but never truly been answered. Even in my own 3 years on YouTube running this channel, the topic of how a wand is actually made has been a video I've wanted to cover for quite a long time. The truth is, I just never really got round to it. But today, that changes because explaining how a wand is made is exactly what I'm going to do. Not only that, I'm going to talk about the entire history of wands. So with that being said, please allow me to take you back into the world of Harry Potter, and while you're there, enjoy today's video on how wands are made. The wand, a basic extension of a wizard's arm, crucial to a wizard accurately channeling their magic in order to achieve the best results. We know they come in all shapes, sizes, designs, materials, different cores. There is so much that goes into a wand's creation that it is common knowledge, even amongst those who don't study wand lore, that no two wands are ever made the same. Yes, there are twin cores like we've seen with Harry and Voldemort's wands, but that doesn't mean that they're the same, and I'm pretty sure that many of you watching up to this point will know the basics of wands at least. So before I get into how a wand is made, let's look at the wand's history. I always feel it's extremely important to firstly see where wands came from, what was their reason for creation, and how they were created or how they were made. Now, what is a certainty is that wands were created in the BC era. Up until that point, wizards of the age used wandless magic, something extremely difficult to do and master. Now, I do just want to add that I think wandless magic being used in the time of the ancient Egyptians, the ancient Greeks, is a fitting explanation for where these gods came from originally. They were just early magical people, and it really ties J.K. Rowling's magical worlds to our everyday world and history. Anyway, as I said, it was wandless magic that allowed wizards of the time to perform magic, until it was discovered that magic could be channeled directly, accurately, and more powerful with the use of a wand. Now, it's not surprising to know that inventors, scientists, etc. all existed very early on, dating back thousands of years, because if they didn't, then the world would stay still. There would be no progression, no different eras, no cars, watches, phones. They all come from someone's mind. Somebody has to think it up. And the reason I'm highlighting this is because I know some of you may be watching this video and think, oh, so what happened? A guy just said, hey, what if we could channel magic through a stick? We all know that type of comment, but the answer is yes, that's exactly what happened. Economic evolution stems from people thinking outside the box. Now, what has been around before the wand's creation were the incantations needed in order to perform different feats of magic. That is a certainty. Anyway guys, so we've got a little history of wands established. Now is the time to talk about how they were made originally in comparison to how they are made today. So, we all know, in order to create a wand, two things are needed: a wand wood and a magical wand core. Each wood and core differ from each other in terms of how they perform when combined together and paired with the correct witch or wizard. Originally, wand wood wasn't really focused on. There was such little knowledge on how it performed with certain types of magic, and the same goes for the cores too. It wasn't just a unicorn hair, dragon heartstring, or phoenix tail feather that went in every wand like the majority of wands in Ollivanders. You see, wand cores were a little tricky, and by that I mean quite tricky. Reason being, every single wand core was different. Wizards and witches were making their own wands with their own chosen cores, being either powerful or not so powerful. There wasn't really any way to tell until the wand was made. In fact, wand making was a pretty disorganized, messy area for centuries. Guys, wand making is a delicate skill that takes years of practice, and don't get me wrong, there were wizards who perfected their wands, like Salazar Slytherin for example, who could even teach his wand to sleep so it would serve nobody but him. Why was his wand a success? Simple, he understood the wood, he understood the core. His brilliance alone was evidence enough to support his skill in so many other areas. Now yes, Ollivanders was up and running at the time. Since 382 BC, But here's some direct and clear information. Garrick Ollivander was the first Ollivander. Bear in mind now, this is 2,000 years of Ollivanders. Garrick was the first to choose to work with 3 selected cores of great power after years of studying wand lore and dangerous experimentation. He primed his focus firstly on finding suitable cores, then and only then did he begin his thorough research on pairing different woods with these cores, and he still hadn't completed it even in Harry's time. There's over 43 wand woods to compare with each of Ollivander's cores, and even so, because the wand chooses the wizard, Garrick could not give a first-hand account on the true power of connecting a wand wood to a specific core. Unless it's correctly paired with the right wizard. I'm sure he'd still try certain spells in order to get a feel of how the woods and cores blend, but for real accuracy I can only assume he'd always be requiring some level of feedback for those he sold wands to. It's why wand lore is so diverse. The subject is extremely difficult to master because it's always changing and evolving. Now, the actual physicality of the wand's creation is also difficult to master, as some cores don't pair well with certain woods. Then there's cores and woods who do blend well together but are incredibly difficult to combine physically. Case in point, the Elder Wand. Ollivander himself has said that its replication is extremely difficult to near impossible, as aligning the Thestral Tailhair core with the Elder Wood is a skill that only one person before has achieved. Massive credit to Antioch Peverell, who created the wand. Now, wand lengths are at the maker's mercy but tends to be between 8 and 14 inches long. Because a wand is a quasi-sentient instrument, it can connect to the right wizard on a magical level, depending on if the wizard or witch in question is best suited to the wand's capabilities. The wands are all handmade and are crafted with the most precise skill. If you've ever wondered what it's meant by a wand's flexibility, well basically that means that the degree of adaptability and willingness to change possessed by the wand and owner pair, although again, this factor ought not to be considered separately from the wand wood, core and length, nor the owner's life experience and style of magic, all of which will combine to make the wand in question unique. So although the wands may be constructed in a similar manner, no two are ever made the same. They perform and react differently with each wielder. However, different wand makers have different opinions, and what goes best with what is again up for debate. For example, Ollivander and Grigorovich, they have rarely ever agreed on wand woods and cores, but they did share a common belief on the activity of Hawthorn wands being strange and contradictory. So everyone, with that being said, it seems that the only thing that remains is the process of placing the core inside the wand. Now, there are several ways that the wand could be put inside, but that does require cutting the wand into 2 pieces and attaching it together again, and I don't believe that is the case. Why? Well, I'm going to tell you why. Because we all know when a wand is snapped or broken, the core remains intact, but the wand never works the same again, even if it's repaired to some extent or some degree. The core is placed inside the wand from the handle through a hole that is merely but the thickness of the core itself, which allows the wood to quickly bond to the core material. How do the wand makers get the core into such a minuscule area? Well, I think the answer is quite clear: with the assistance of magic. So that means that one wand could possibly be needed to make another. Anyway guys, I really hope you enjoyed today's video on how wands are made. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all again in the next video. Don't forget though, let me know in the comment section below how you think wands are made. If you disagree with me, let me know. Thanks again, have a good one. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate your support. Everyone, notifications of uploads are more important than ever. So please, if you haven't already, turn those notifications on to make sure you're notified the moment my video goes live. Making videos is what I love to do. It's my dream and my passion. However, it does cost time and money to produce this content. So if you have $1 to spare to support me on Patreon in exchange for some exclusive unseen content, then you can click the Patreon link below or at the end of this video. Please only support me if you can afford it. And make sure to follow me on Instagram at InstaDNJ and on Twitter at PotterFolklore Check out my other videos appearing on screen, and please make sure, most importantly, to hit that subscribe button. Thanks again everyone, and please have a great day.